Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Paul Tripoli, and we're here for a special occasion. We got a great guest here on Coach's Corner, folks. We try to inspire and educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act. That's right. Coming up on the show today, El Romano, Salve High School grad, All-American nose guard at the University of Pittsburgh, 1973 through 76. Played under Johnny Majors, Jackie Sherrill. Oh, my gosh. We're going to talk all about that, Al. Thanks for joining the show, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, my gosh. I was talking with an old friend, Joe Riccardi, earlier, man. And I saw something in the pit. I'm sorry. Joe talked me into going to Alabama. And I'm like, how did he do that besides by force?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have said.
I don't know, but yeah, I saw in the pit media guide that they talked about you were so good looking, you were a cross between Omar Sharif, Mark Spitz, and Burt Reynolds.
I'm not going to talk to you about this shit, man.
Al, talk about growing up. Were you born in Schenectady and then moved to Syracuse?
No, we were right on the north side of the city of Syracuse.
Uh-huh.
It was predominantly an Italian neighborhood. And if you went about 10, 12 blocks, you cross this Court Street, and it was all the Germans. And that's where my mom came from. So that's why I'm the tallest Italian in my family by far.
My gosh, my dad's Italian, grew up on Boston Street down there in Syracuse in the Italian section.
Yeah. Very predominantly Italian.
Yes, absolutely. And he married a German girl, Kronk. So we both have Italian-German parents. How funny. All right, so talk about going to Salve High School, man. Talk about your mom. First, talk about your mom and dad. And I know you have brother Tony and Danny and your sister Sherry. Is that right?
Yeah, but there's 4 others too. So.
There's 4 others?
Well, we're Italians. What the hell did you think?
No birth control in the Italian Catholic household.
Nope. Anyway, Salve, I originally started in the north side of the city, which we talked about being the Italian area. And I went to a Catholic school, very staunch, strict nuns.
Right.
And my mom was very involved. She would do all the spaghetti dinners and all that for the congregation. And I was a bit of a problem child, and I was sent home quite often. And in those days, it was 10 blocks from my house. You still walked. And here I am, 3rd grade and walking home early again. And I would hide out over behind the high school because my mom knew right away. My mom knew right away, what the hell did you do now? Then I would go, home, and of course, stupid me. Of course, she got called, and here I'm waiting behind the high school like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was interesting. And then my dad, my 2 brothers had moved out. I have brothers in their 80s. They're 12, 14 years older than I am. And they moved out, and they decided to downsize. So we moved to Salve when I was, 8, maybe 9. Yeah, it's a very nice community. It's very close knit. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend of mine, Kurt Newfang, played at Salve, after you did. All right. So talk about playing 3 sports in high school. You played football, track, and you wrestled. Talk about the diversity in some of your teams in high school, how good they were.
We were pretty good. We were actually, for our size, we were one of the better football schools. We all got along well, and it made it a lot easier. What happened was when I first moved to Salve, they had already closed down the old high school was called Intermediate High School.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to go down there and break windows because they were going to tear it down.
Right.
Well, I got nabbed by the chief of police, Rocco Pirro.
Another paisan.
Yeah, he comes up and he lifts me up like this. He goes, "What are you doing, son?" I go, "I'm breaking windows." So he grabbed me. He goes, and I saw on the side of the school was the old field, and I saw him with a bunch of kids my age. He goes, "What's your name? I'm going to talk to your parents." I go, "Oh shit." So he brought me on the Pop Warner team.
Wow.
And that's
how it got started.
They were the first people I met, Pop Warner players, and I didn't know half these kids. I hadn't barely started school there yet.
Right.
And it was fun. He was tough. He was
Oh, was he? Yeah, they're old school back then, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you spent. What happened after Solvay? Talk about your getting recruited, and I guess you spent a year at a prep school in Virginia. Is that correct? And then went to Pitt. Talk about that process and what you had to do.
It was a regular ROTC affiliated school. We had a few regulars that worked at the school, and I needed it. My dad left when I was 12-ish. And no, he was still there. I mean, he left the home.
Uh-huh.
But he still picked us up every weekend, and we went to movies and all that. No, he was a hands-on dad.
Yeah.
It was, I would imagine that the German blood and Italian blood didn't get together very well.
Right.
They battled it out an awful lot.
Yeah.
And my dad was, from what my mother tells me, he was a carouser.
Right.
Yeah.
All those old Italians were carousers back then.
Yeah.
It was just it's part of it.
Yeah. So he was involved heavily, but I needed to go. I was not that. A couple times I walked into my mom's room and she's crying. She's on the phone.
Yeah.
And it was about me, and she didn't know I heard this. She goes, "You got to take him because I can't control him." And it broke my heart.
Yep.
It literally broke my heart. So I literally straightened myself out to a point where I wasn't doing the stupid things I was, but we're really tight even now,
right.
And so they my grades weren't all that good, and I prepped a year at Stanton Military Academy down in Stanton, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And Syracuse sent me there.
Oh, did they? They?
My roommate was Tommy Pirro, who father was the O-line coach for SU.
Oh, wow.
He was my roommate, and I grew up with Tommy from high school, and
right.
Great kid. But I needed to get the grades up. He needed to get his physical body a little bit bigger because he was a small kid.
Right.
So it worked out for both of us. We had a great time, but.
How did you choose Pittsburgh? Did you start getting recruited after that? Did Syracuse want you? Did you want to go to Syracuse? Because I know coming out of high school, I really wanted to go to Syracuse, and they didn't offer me a scholarship. So I decided the best decision I ever made in my life was to walk on at Alabama instead of Syracuse, because I would have probably either been flunked out, in jail, or dead, or all three.
Yeah.
If I stayed at Syracuse.
I was a fullback in high school, so I wanted to be the next Larry Zonka.
Right.
I really had nowhere else but Syracuse that I wanted to originally go to.
Okay.
So when I got to the military academy, I needed to get out of there. So I accepted every school that wanted to get me the hell out of there.
Right.
And I was, East Carolina, South Carolina, Florida State and all these schools, and I'm visiting them all just to get away. I mean,
Yep.
the weekends were brutal. At least during the week they were there. You had to do something and do it in order and in a timely manner and all that.
Right.
So Syracuse, I bet Pitt brought me to Pittsburgh, of course, and I really liked it, but I pushed it behind because I'm going to go to Syracuse.
Right.
Well, they didn't offer me a real visit. I was pissed. So what they did is
Hang on a second. Let me stop that.
All right.
Golly, sorry, man. I got construction going on in this house. Just leave doors open, my father would go nuts. Close the door, he'd yell.
No, my mother did all the ordering in our house.
Sorry about that. Well,
and I knew why they had Nazis, because my mother, she was tough, but she had to be. But anyway, they said, well, we understand you're coming home for Thanksgiving. We'll give you a showing, the walking around the campus. And I said, well, I was pissed. So I'm in the room. There wasn't very many players because it was Thanksgiving weekend. And we had maybe 12 guys in a room, and Schwartzwalder walks in and gives a speech and totally losing it at that time. I mean, he was talking about one thing and then went right on to, he lost all of us.
Right.
So,
right.
But there was a guy named Paul Palisso who played for Syracuse. He was a quarterback at Syracuse. And he really felt that I was going to be a prime candidate. And I went back to school, and their pick came again. They came down twice. Mm-hmm. This time he timed me. He took Tommy and I down to the track.
Yep.
And Tommy was a defensive back, and I beat him in the race. And
whoa.
Oh yeah. And Tommy was pissed as hell.
Oh my God! You made a DB. Hey, you made a nose tackle and make a DB.
I know it. I go, Tom, what the hell, man? I go, I'm doing what I got to do, So he didn't talk to me for a week. That's tough. Shit. Two guys in a little room. So I really enjoyed it, and it's tough. You go sit in front of a smooth talking, polite Southerner like Johnny Majors.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was sitting on pillows.
Wow.
You bring Jackie Sherrill in.
Right.
Holy shit!
You play for two Hall of Fame coaches.
Yeah, well, the Jackie Sherrill scared the bejesus out of it when he's looking at me.
Oh, was he your D-line coach?
No, yes. No, he was a defensive coordinator.
Okay. Did he talk about Coach Bryan a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Jackie's looking at me, and I'm looking behind me, wondering who's he looking at? It was like he's looking right through me. I'm going, this guy's screwed up. There's something wrong with this guy. It must be the Alabama connection. I don't know.
It definitely is, man. Their passion is it's a whole different level, man. Yeah.
So we had some great coaches.
Oh my God.
Jimmy Johnson came in at the end.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Bobby Roper, is he the one that recruited you?
He recruited me. Great guy, typical Southerner, very soft-spoken.
Wow.
Just nice guy. We kept in touch. He would call me probably 2-3 times a year, and we'd talk for a half hour.
Wow.
He was telling me about his son, who's a head coach, I think at Arkansas, or does that sound right?
I don't know.
Bobby Roper Jr. He was the
Wow.
head. He wasn't a head coach, but he was a position coach.
Oh, okay.
And then he went somewhere else. I think Texas or Texas A&M or something like that.
So Schwartzwalder, who we actually talk about on last Wednesday show. This will air Saturday, but Wednesday night, 4-wheel drive, Syracuse. That defensive line: Jamie Kimmel, Tim Green, Blaze Winter, and Bill Pendock. We talk about Joe Ehrman, how Joe Ehrman played football and lacrosse at Syracuse, and Joe Ehrman played for Schwartzwalder, who was a transactional coach, and he played for Roy Simmons, who was a transformational coach, won like national champions in lacrosse, but not football. Right. That's why you didn't go to Syracuse, right? You just felt better about the Pittsburgh coaches.
Yes, and you're going to hear an inside story here.
All right, good. We'd love to hear it.
The team chaplain was Father Charles Borgognoni. Okay. He was my priest at Our Lady of Pompeii.
Mm-hmm.
He took a liking to me to a point, and and he took me to a side, and it was during my visit that one holiday weekend. He says, "Al, they're going to be changing coaches," and he says, "and they're not going to hire within." I said, "Oh, wow." Paul Palisso was mad as hell that I was told that, and he told me he was pissed that you should not have,
heard that. Yeah.
Well, I says it may have had a little bit to do with it, but that cemented the issue. I wasn't going to go to Syracuse.
Well, good. Well, all right, let's talk about your time at Pittsburgh. You got switched from D tackle to nose guard. Talk about that adjustment and one of your best buddies, Don Jake Parrish, who was a great teammate and intense, but loved to have fun and practical joke guy. Talk about your buddy and your switch at Pittsburgh.
Well, I didn't travel the first game. When we broke camp, I had pulled a groin muscle, so I didn't go to the first game, which was Georgia in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And Tony ran all over them, and we ended up tying the game. But they couldn't believe it because they were ranked, and here we were toe to toe with them.
Right.
But from that time on, I traveled, and there was a big defensive end that he was very tough. He should have been more interior because he couldn't run. You know what I mean? He couldn't get outside like I could.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, I took his defensive end job the third game of the season, and I loved it. I was playing. That's all that mattered. And then the following, we had Gary Burley at nose guard.
Mm-hmm. Gary
Burley was only there that 1 year. He was a junior college transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up, the coach was trying to find a nose guard, and he goes, Romano, get over here. So he had an offensive lineman there, and he goes, I want you to get around them, and you had lines on each side so that you had to stay,
to go tight. Yeah,
they had to go tight, and I got around them, and like it was really natural for me. He goes, God damn, son, can you do that again? I go, I don't know. So they brought in one of the starting linemen. One of the guys who were going to be, they had already started, previous years. And I did the same thing to him. They go,
wow.
Man, that's, and that was it.
That's how you got switched. That's how you got switched to the interior. How much were you weighing? Weren't you like 225, 230?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the quickness you relied on.
I came in around 228, and then at camp, I lost a few pounds. It was a hot summer. Yeah. Johnstown, PA. That's where we went to camp. And That's where I ended up.
Wow. Okay. So let's see. You were chosen Defensive Player of the Game 1975 Sun Bowl in El Paso. Man, I played in the 83 Sun Bowl. Had a pick, got lucky. But that's a cool stadium. Talk about your game that you got MVP in the 75 Sun Bowl.
Yeah, who was wasn't Dungy there? Who was there? Bill
Tony Dungy.
I think Dungy was there, wasn't he? Or no, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the center was, I guess he told me he was an All-American or something.
Yeah.
And they didn't mean shit to me, So I apparently had a real good game. I had a lot of hurries on the quarterback, and we ended up, of course, winning the game. He was flustered, and he was yelling at his guard, his center. They're trying to double team me, and I just go the other way,
Al, who was hard to get past, man? Who was that center that owned you, that you just had a hard game against?
You're not going to believe it. Duke.
Really?
We went down to play Duke, and they had he was an All-American center.
Oh, okay.
And but see, I liked them bigger and fatter because you
could be quicker. Yeah, you're quicker.
Oh, yeah, I was just way quicker than they were. This kid had some quickness to him.
Yeah.
And he was probably the one that gave me one of my worst games. I think I only got like 3 tackles or 4 tackles in the game.
Right.
All
right. 1976, man. Just a dream year. I called you on the phone. I said, "You played with Tony Dorsett?" And you said, "No, he played with me." I love the sense of humor, that Italian in you, man. I
told you this. I got him so convinced he wasn't that good. I go, "Tony, what do you do with the Heisman? Is it a door prop? It keeps doors open for you? That trophy ain't shit, man.
You kept him humble, brother.
Oh, he is. Yeah. I love him. We talk almost every week.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I just love him to death.
Oh my God. Well, what a dream year, man. You're a first-team All-American on a national title team, 12-0 Sugar Bowl win against Georgia. What was the hardest game that year that you guys almost didn't get through? And you guys spanked Georgia pretty good. And what was it like winning the national title? Where's your ring? Talk about that year.
Well, if you want to know the hardest game, it was Syracuse.
Oh, yeah. You had a 4th down stop in that game, didn't you?
They almost beat us.
Oh, my God. Talk about that game, Syracuse.
That goddamn Bill Hurley. We just couldn't rope him up and tie him up, man. He was all over the place. And we were winning 10-7 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Going into the 4th quarter. It was a dogfight, and they were on around the 10, and they're driving for a 1st down. It was 3rd and like 1.5 or something. And what we would do is Joe Stone, one of our biggest offensive linemen, they would bring him in, and him and I would have the A gap, you would have the B gap, and we would just try to blow the center blow him right off the ball to disrupt the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we set them. They didn't make it on 3rd. 4th down, they call a hot number, red, 22. Joe goes, "Al, that's a hot color. They're coming. And I go, so I switch with them. I get over on the left side of the center, right? And I literally he's still calling audibles. I get Arnie Weatherington. I go, "Arnie," I grab him. I go, "It's coming right here." I get
the 2 gap, right in the 2 gap.
And I'm going in the films. I'm going like this. Right here. You got to ask Bill Hillgrove. He loves that story.
Oh my God.
So I go, Joe, hit him. I'm going to take his ankles out. You get him up top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I moved him out of the position he was supposed to be in. So both of us were taking on part of the center and the guard.
Whoa.
Shut him down again.
Blew it up.
Freaking place went crazy.
Oh my gosh. Syracuse, how ironically, Syracuse is the only one that derailed y'all. What was Tony Dorsett like? Try to tackle in practice? Did he give you enough looks that all the other running backs were a little bit easier to handle?
It was like touch football.
Wow.
He was just, you had no idea, because he was so quick, literally. I mean, he would be 2 feet from you and hardly make contact with you going around you.
Wow.
I mean, he was, and I'm going back to the huddle. I'm going, oh man, I think I'm going to go home, because this is what
I can't get a shoulder on him. I can get a hand on him, but I can't get a shoulder in him.
It's funny. I almost did go home when camp broke my freshman year.
Wow. Yeah, we all almost quit, right? At one time.
I called my father, said, come and get me.
What did he say?
He says, look, finish the week out. It was a Wednesday or something. He goes, finish the week out. I will come down and get you. In the meantime, he calls the coach. I didn't hear about this for years later. Yeah. So he gets a hold of Jim Dyer, who's my coach. Okay, he was my defensive line coach.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim never told me either, but he ended up really showing more, paying attention and, really caring for, thank God.
Yeah, thank God he heeded and looked at himself and didn't want to lose you and had that call with your father. Wow, that's powerful stuff. Yeah, it was. We talked about that. You got drafted by Houston Oilers in '77. You were traded to the Bucks. Was it shortly after that, or did you couldn't come to terms or something? I read somewhere.
Yeah, I remember going to Tampa, and they were expansion team, and they had one of our linebackers already there, Cecil Johnson, a Miami kid. And I go down there, and they're talking that, look, we're trying to work out the monies and this and that. And I'm thinking, what's the work out? I didn't know how it worked. I thought that you got to pay me what they were supposed to pay me. What the hell did I know?
Yeah.
And they wanted to cut me. They wanted to cut, I don't know, it was like 20 grand or something, 21 grand, whatever the amount was. And I'm saying, I was not happy.
Yeah.
And while when I was in the waiting room, I'm in cutoff. Remember back when we wore the cutoff jeans and the raggedy edges to the jean, and I had a T-shirt on, and I'm waiting to talk to the general manager of the Bucks at the time. And there's a guy sitting in the room, looked like an old Elvis. He had these gold, thick-rimmed glasses, white hair, right? And I can't think of his name, but he goes, here's my card. He goes, where are you staying? I says, at the Hyatt. He goes, here's my card. He goes, you need to call me. Goes, all right. He goes, I really can't talk to you right now. So I called my dad first. I go, Dad, what do I do? He goes, call him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, in the meantime, I called my agent. And I said, what the hell are they doing here? I says, I didn't know. He goes, Al, I can't get down there. I'm really tied up. He did all my stuff, and he didn't even charge me. And I sent him like $4,000 or $5,000. I thought was a lot of money, but he didn't even want to charge me. Me and Tony. He handled Tony.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, make a long story short, I called the guy, and he goes, listen, I'm the GM for the Hamilton Ticats. I go, this is how naive I was. I go, who the hell are they? must have lived in a box. I don't know. I was either I was more stupid than I thought I was.
Hamilton Tiger Cats, a rival of both you and I both played for the Argos, a rival of the Argos in the East Division.
I ended up with the Argos,
Football League. So you signed with them?
Well, when they told me I was going to make more money with them than if I signed the original contract.
Yeah.
I go, no shit, really? So I talked to my dad. He goes, Al, really, how much longer you think you're going to do this thing? I says, you're right, Dad. I'd rather be there working. My father had a building company, and I was going to take it over.
Yeah.
So I took the deal, went up to Hamilton, and they wanted me for 2 years, and I said, no, I'm only doing a year.
Oh, wow.
And then a coach that I knew took over the Argonauts and heard that I was available. So they made me even a better deal. I went up and played with the Argonauts.
What was that coach's name? Do you remember him? Is it Tom something? Was he the Alfred coach? Because he coached at the Argos when I was
there. Tom.
Tom something. He was the head coach at Alfred University that I almost went to.
Oh, Tom,
I forget his last. I forget his last name, but he's the one who talked you into going to Toronto.
Yeah.
Wow. I gave him shit. Hey, Al, I gave him shit in Toronto all the time because I almost went to Alfred to play football and basketball, small Division III school, but I picked Alabama, so I gave him shit all the time. Coach, you just didn't recruit me hard enough.
I'll tell you where. In the beginning, I never thought that I was, out of high school, that I thought that I was really that good. And I wanted to go to Cornell.
Oh, wow.
And one of the deciding reasons I went to that prep school.
Okay.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
Cornell comes to my high school to recruit me. So I'm sitting in the teachers, where the little conference table is, and they, well, you sit here, and this coach came in, and they wanted somebody there with me. I'm like 17, 18 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
So the guidance counselor, comes in with my file, and he's looking at my file, and he goes, where did you say you're from? Cornell. He goes, this kid can't go to Cornell. No. Our high school principal was called Bear for a reason. About 340 pounds, 6'2". And I remember going to his office once, and here he is with a shirt cutting the hair around this. Scared the shit out of us, right? Now, the counselor, Bear, he's got his door open. I'm the only Division I that the school seen at that point, you know. And he goes, Lou. I think the whole school heard him. Get in here. I don't know why they closed the door. You can hear me. What are you, an idiot?
He was giving you the business for having Cornell there and think you.
Oh, no, but they don't tell him I can't make it. Let him make the goddamn decision, right?
Oh my God, Al, that's like me sending an application to Lehigh and those schools. There was no way I was going to get in those schools. I applied to like RIT and Alfred and all those liberal arts schools in upstate New York, and I had to write essays and have all this paperwork in order. I get the application for Alabama. It's one page, front only. Name, address, social security number, GPA. I think it said in parentheses, guesstimate.
So I go home. I call Dad. I go, Dad. I go, they wanted me they want me to go play college football. You have to understand, I'm surprised. I mean, I'm figuring I'm working the rest of my life. I didn't know that there was, I go,
those opportunities. Yeah.
I didn't know that opportunity was available to me. I mean, I swear to God, I think I must have lived.
You were a sheltered, just the Italian section of Syracuse, man.
Right.
You guys were just going and, making sure all the meatballs that mom had ready to go. But yeah, so go ahead, continue on. Tell me how you got there.
Well, Lou got his ass chewed out, the counselor, pretty good.
Yeah.
So he comes, the guy who's the recruiter is actually embarrassed for me. I wasn't embarrassed because I wasn't smart enough to figure out what the hell they were talking about. At that point, I never took any SATs or, I didn't take any of the tests.
Right. Right.
And he says, well, what are your SATs and your, what were the other ones called? The ACTs or?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I didn't take anything. And, and now you got the principal yelling at.
Hey, didn't you coach for a time with Coach Sherrill at Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh, talk about that experience. How did you
Well,
get?
I just helped them. I mean, I
Like
came
a GA
back
or something, or
I came back from Houston, went back. I wanted to graduate, and I needed like 7 hours, 9 hours, or something like that.
Mhm.
So I enrolled, and Jackie was going to take care of them, and I would have to just help them out a little bit.
yeah.
That's all. Didn't really do much, but. But it
Wow.
was nice being on campus, you got hanging with the guys that were behind me,
Yeah. I done that. I went back and got my degree after I got done playing pro ball too. I had 4 classes. 9 hours, 10, 12 hours, something like that. All right. So talk about the phone call you got about being inducted in the University of Pittsburgh Hall of Fame, Al.
I was first Heather, who was the AD. She was supposed to be the one who would let me know, but I hang around with these guys at the university. They got the inside scoop. They go, "Oh, don't say a freaking thing." But you got inducted into the bit. I go, "Oh, that's great. That's good. Don't say anything. God damn it." So now,
told you not to say anything.
so now I get another university employee calling me up. Hey,
Oh, wow.
and he's talking like somebody's in the room. You can't tell anybody. You got inducted into Pitt Hall of Fame. I go. So I played. I go, "Oh, that is great!" It's like the first guy never said anything to me, right?
Oh, my God.
And then I got a third call. I said,
The official call.
"She didn't call." No, she didn't call for a week. And then everybody.
You had to pretend like it was the first time you heard it for like a whole
I said,
week.
"Oh my God, Heather, thank you so much. Such an honor."
All right. When is that ceremony, Al? When is it?
The 13th, next week.
No, is it
13th.
really?
Yeah, I go
Oh.
down the 12th, and we do a meet and greet with all the inductees, and then.
Oh man, congratulations, brother,
Thank
man.
you.
That's awesome, dude. That's
Thank
a huge honor, man. That's just you can never get taken away. Man, that's a beautiful thing, Al.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Everybody's telling me it's about time. I'm saying, what do you mean about time? I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I got it, didn't I?
We're still vertical, brother.
Right.
I don't know other concussions.
I'm
we got.
thinking, everybody's telling me because Tony went in and a bunch of the other, and then they were getting some younger guys going in, and guys are, and I just figured, well,
Yeah.
I just, people say, why were you so good? And I go, well, I didn't really think I was. I just did what I was told to do.
Right.
I mean,
Just doing your job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? But I read a little bit about your defensive line, and I just got done recording a podcast with Bill Pendock and Blaze Winter, and of course their teammates was Timmy Green, my high school teammate, the All-American and ALS guy. I watched his podcast with Bob Costas. It's really good, by the way. And Jamie Kimmel. Those four were so different. All four of them were really, really different backgrounds, but they really came together. That's kind of how I got it with your D line. You guys were all from all different backgrounds, but you guys really cared about each other.
You had Don Parrish from Florida. I mean, the redneck, real redneck part of the panhandle area. Right. I mean, then you had Randy Holloway from Sharon, PA, and I was from, of course, Little High School up here in upstate New York, and we just hit it off. We just had so much fun. I mean, I would have to, I'm the nose guard, so I'd put my arms up and they huddle up to me, and all the time, Don was like. So I grabbed the back of his jersey. I go, Dad, this is where the effing huddle begins, okay? And they're all the guys are looking at me like, who gives a shit? I go, but I got to keep Don on his toe. Don's going to fall asleep or something because he was just
God.
He was so slow in everything he did, but he was pretty quick off the ball. Yeah. And Randy Holloway, he's a stud.
God.
Played with the Vikings.
Wow. Man, unbelievable. Well,
I would make a joke with Don because Don didn't always go the direction he was supposed to go in.
Right.
And I go, Don, you hit me one more time, you'll never play another down, you son of a bitch. You were supposed to go that way, you asshole.
Hey, that's how you hold each other accountable. That's just another way to hold each other accountable. Do your damn job and shut up. That's when I got to Alabama, Al, they won back-to-back national titles. I went, holy shit, what am I doing here? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough to play right away, man. I had to put up and shut up while I did it. Wow. Al, that was awesome having you, man. Thanks, dude. We're gonna have to do this again, huh?
Hey,
have to do it again. Good.
My wife is she's probably the least excited about going to this thing. She just wants this football shit to be over with.
Oh man, hey, you tell her, baby, it ain't never leaving us. It's always in us, man. That's how we are. That's why we're who we are today, because of all those lessons learned in football. Yeah. Hey, brother. Thanks, Al Paisan. Thanks you, brother. Hey. Appreciate you, man. Joe Riccardi says, hey. All the Italians say, hey, from Syracuse. They're all proud. I know, man. Good luck. Have fun next week. Take some pics. Have fun.
I will. Thank you. Appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Al. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Man, that was awesome. Al Romano, All-American at Pitt from teeny little high school, Salve High School in upstate New York outside Syracuse. What a great story. What a success story. Stay tuned for all these great messages from our sponsors. Without this, just wouldn't be possible. Have a great sports weekend, everybody. See you next time around.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
Drive a little to save a lot on 170 Buicks and GMCs at Step 1 Buick GMC. Get savings up to $4,000 on new Buick Encores, $9,450 on new Buick Envisions, $7,000 on new GMC Yukon XLs, or up to $15,345 off on new Sierras. Only at Step 1 Buick GMC, Pensacola.
Plus tax, tag, title, license, dealer processing fee expires 7/31/24 on select new 24 in-stock models. Discount off MSRP includes all incentives.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
75 years of service and high tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than the simple painted brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348.
Barnes Heating and Air is a proud sponsor of Alabama football, serving the entire Pensacola community for over 50 years. Barnes Heating and Air is passionate about providing customers with world-class air conditioning and heating repairs, sales, and installation. Barnes Heating and Air is family-owned, insured, and committed to quality. For a free estimate, call 478-0141. Barnes Heating and Air is #1 in customer service with service calls 7 days a week. Call Barnes Heating and Air 478-0141 and roll